सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां निधाय हृदि विश्वेश्वं विधाय गुरुवन्दनं बालानां सुखबोधाय क्रियते तर्कसङ्ग्रहः. So all that epistemology, the reason for knowledge, erroneous apprehension, doubt, viparya, tarka, etc. All this we saw last time. I'm sure there is no doubts about it because we literally saw it twice. Okay. Now, going forward, okay, he is dealing with smriti. Where did smriti suddenly come? Remember what we are dealing with? 24 gunas. 24 gunas. So one of the gunas was buddhi, jnanam. Buddhi was taken as jnana. We dealt with that. So all the erroneous knowledge, this, that, all that. Now coming back to the gunas. Smriti. Okay, smriti. Smriti api divida. Smriti is also twofold. Yatha yathartha ayatartha. Proper memories, improper memories. What do you mean by that? Pramana janyam yathartha. That memories which was created by correct knowledge, they are called yathartha smriti. Apramana janyam. If the memory was not created by a pramana, they are called ayathartha. So you can have, I remember reading this chapter, pramana janyam. That memory is valid memory. I think somebody said that one. Ayathartham. How can that be? Because sometimes there can be Brahma, even if a Pramana is used. Like COVID time, I was taking a class online. So after the Brahma Sutras, 4th chapter was over, this is Karthik's joke, okay? But it is valid. One of the students went and got a tattoo. I asked him, why did you get a tattoo? Samji, Brahma Sutra says that, no? Brahma Sutra says that? Kidhar se? Samji, 4th Sutra. Tattoo samanvaya. This is the problem of hearing it online, okay? Distortions can creep in. So a memory created like that is called ayathartham. Okay. So Karthik comes up with some good joke. This is one of his. Okay. But this one I'm going to really use. Yeah. Okay. Having said that much, yathartham, ayathartham, should also remember one thing. Memory is very, very unreliable. Especially when you are talking about events and things like that. If memory of something that you have studied, those things are valid memories that will be there. It is difficult to distort them. There also distortions can come, but it is difficult. That's why he said pramana janyam means there is no problem. But of an experience you went through, there will be a lot of subjectivity with it. Lot of subjectivity. How you remember an event, how your friend remembers the event, even though both of you went through the same event and your similar personalities like the same thing, even then, there will be. That's why memory is a very, you can't always take it as pramana. All of memory cannot be taken as pramani. Memories can be highly subjective. All of us must have experienced one thing at least. Let us say as a child, you had gone to a place. What a big structure that was. Huge. Then you went 20 years later as an adult. Oh my God, I remember it as huge, it's so small. Why? Because that time you were a kid, everything appeared big for you. So, this type of distortions will be there in memories. So, other types of distortions can also come, as far as memory is concerned. Therefore, the ayathartha part in memory is huge. Unless you have a photogenic memory and you can say, photographic memory you have and you can remember everything. I am generally very good at those things, but there can be errors made also. Therefore, memory is always a dicey area. Okay?
Past life also, what you remember is from memory only?
Yeah.
When you go through past life regression.
All that is memory.
Everything is memory.
All memory, accessing memories. Now you don't know whether that memory was created really by some experience or something you read in some storybook.
No, but you know.
It looks real. It's not pramanam, it's not 100% authentic.
No, if it's by certain other.
Therefore, some sort of validation you can have. But it is memory, that's what I'm saying. It's still memory. Then after memory is simple that way. Okay? Comes sukha and dukkha. Okay? Sarvesham anukulataya vedaniyam sukham. But everyone takes it as very desirable or very conducive. Most people take it as very conducive. That is considered sukham. Look at it. He is not looking at your experience. Sukha is created by this object, he is not saying. What you feel inside. That feeling which is harmonious to you, which is anukulam to you, that feeling is taken as sukham. You are very comfortable with that feeling. That is sukha. Because what gives you sukha and dukkha can change from people to people. Yeah. Coffee. Hey, nice cup of coffee. Sukha. But I don't want it. It's also bitter. Ye kya hai? People taking bitter. Especially you taking it black. Oh my God. Therefore, what gives you sukha is not going into it. He is just talking about what is sukha. Anukulam. You are very comfortable with it. You are happy with it. That is called sukha. Sarvesham pratikulataya vedaniyam dukkham. The opposite of it. It is not conducive for it. You are not in harmony with it. That is called dukkham. That's called dukkham. So sukham, dukkham, highly subjective. In fact, it is completely subjective. Sukha and dukkha is there, but they are completely subjective. Okay. Then other gunas also is talking about. Ichha. What is ichha? Kamaha, desire. Ichha is nothing but kama, desire. Krodha, dvesha, anger. You all experience it anyway, you all know it. Nothing much has to be. Yeah. Kriti is prayatna, your effort, your actions. Then dharma are also considered gunas. Okay? Now how will you define dharma? Dharma is a huge topic. I was just dealing with it in the Gita class before this. Okay? Dharma and adharma. He says, vihita karma janyaha dharmaha. Now here, I didn't tackle this in the Gita class because it will be too confusing for them at the time. Dharma is very often taken as punya papa. Therefore, whatever gives you punya is a dharmic activity. Whatever gives you papa is an adharmic activity. So now how do you know that? Vihita karma janyaha punyaha. The karma enjoined by the Vedas when you do, that is called dharma because it gives you punya. Avihitam. This thing, no? Avihitam. Nishiddha karma janyaha adharma. Whatever is born of a karma that the Veda tells you or the Dharma Shastra tells you, you should not be doing, is called Adharma, because that is papa. Papa karma. That gives you papa. Now, this definition is restricted to punya and papa. Dharma and dharma is much more than that. Dhareti, dharma, all that we have seen before. So, dharma is more. But here, he is restricting it to punya papa. Those definition. And be careful when you are saying vihitam, avihitam, there are a lot of dharma shastras that deal with it. Be careful of dharma shastras because dharma shastras are smriti. Therefore, dharma shastras, you'll find on the net and all our characters. Those of you who are this thing on, especially our Prashant and Nitin. Nitin from Advaita and Prashant are champion. Considers himself a dharma guru without studied any dharma shastra. Okay. All dharma shastras were written for a certain time and place. In fact, Parashara Smriti, which we are supposed to follow in Kali Yuga. Manu says very clearly, Kalo natu manuhu. I am not valid in Kali Yuga. And we are arguing on basis of Manu Smriti. Why? He says I am not applicable. Then why are you discussing? He said I am not applicable. Na? Ho gaya tha. Don't follow me. No, we must study Dharma Shastra. Manu also. Yeah, study it for academic purposes, not for application purposes. Because he said it is not applicable. Kalautu Parasharaha. Follow Parashara Smriti. And right in the beginning he makes it clear. Dharma is dependent upon time, place, age, circumstances, avastha. All that he makes it very clear. That means what? What I say is not final, it has to be interpreted to your situation. So Parashara wrote it at Krishna's time. He was Vyasa's father. Okay, he wrote it at that time. Before Kali Yuga started, he wrote the rules for Kali Yuga. Minimum 3500 years BC. 3500 BC. So you expect every little thing to be valid. Ask these dharmacharyas. You should do Agnihotra daily, it is written there. Krita hai kya? Before you come and tell me what is dharma, you do that first. Agnihotra you are supposed to do. In fact, one champion writes like that. My father was a Vaishya, my mother is a Brahmana. So I asked my guru, and he said, you must follow your father's dharma, which is Vaishya, business. And he is in service. He is working for some corporate. So he thought of starting a small shop in his hometown in India and getting somebody to manage it because I have to follow my Kula Dharma. I said, idiot. You think Dharma can be outsourced to person over? This is not back office. It's not back office that you are outsourcing to someone. It's all ridiculous. It's all ridiculous. Because first of all, they are making a big mistake taking it only by Janma. Why? Because their idea is, because, Guna Karma Vibhagayo and said in the Gita. Because of my karma, I was born in a Brahmana family. Therefore, I am Brahmana by karma. Prarabdha karma. Instead of taking like this, you're going, yeah. In Sanskrit, we will call it Pindam Utsrujya Karamleti. You have a nice laddu in your hand. You threw it away and you're licking the hand for sweetness. Shruta Hani, Ashruta Kalpana. Kuch bhi bolo. Tarka doesn't bother about it. Vihita karma, if you have done, that is dharma karma, therefore punya. Punya, therefore that punya is called dharma. Nishita karma, you have done. He says, don't do this, don't do that. There are a lot of restrictions. Okay. If you have done that, Papa is a dharma. Therefore, adharma. They are not absolutes, okay? So you pay your price. I did a Papa karma, I paid my price. Now what? I am fine. Yeah, paid my price. There is no eternal damnation. You did finish, paid your price. Ho gaya karma. Yeah.
Swamiji,
Yeah?
excuse me.
Yeah, tell
What
me.
is the name of the Manusmriti? You know, what is about Parashara?
Parashara Smriti.
Smriti, okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Parashara Smriti. There are 3-4 Smritis like that. If you want to be a Dharmacharya, you must study all these Smritis. If you want to be a Dharmacharya, I'll say have some idea of the constitution of India also. Minimum India. Have an idea of constitution of the country you are staying in also. Why? Dharma, no? You need to have. How will you call yourself a Dharmacharya without all this? That means international law you should know a little bit. Awareness of it. Because that's the lawyer's job, not yours. As a Dharmacharya is not your job, the lawyer's job. But you must have awareness of it, what the law states. What is the constitution about? Even our journalists don't have that. Someone gets 52% of the seats in an assembly, they will say, oh, this party has won absolute majority. He has won a simple majority. Absolute majority is defined as when you get 66% of the votes. So even our journalists make mistakes. They are supposed to be informed. A simple basic knowledge they should have. No, my job is not constitution, my job is reporting. But report properly then. Nowadays journalists creating news, not reporting news. Anyway, dharma, still stick to that. In here, he goes purely by this. Tarka goes only by this much. Okay? Then he makes a very interesting statement in the next verse. Buddhyadeha ashtau atma matra vishesha gunaha. All these from buddhi onwards, jnana, from that up to punya papa, all of them are atma gunas. This is where you would make a major difference from Vedanta. Sukha dukkha. I am happy, I am sad. No? So how can it be? It's Atma Guna. Because you are saying I am happy. You are saying I am sad. Yeah. Therefore they are all Atma Gunas in Tarka. In Vedanta what do you say? They are Buddhi Gunas, but imposed on the Atma by Adhyasa. Because you have to explain your experience. I am happy or I am sad. Mind is sad and that mind is adhyastam on the Atma. You mistake the mind to be you. Therefore you say I am happy, I am sad. But adhyasa doesn't exist as far as, this type of adhyasa doesn't exist as far as Tarka is concerned. Tarka will say right perception, wrong perception. That's all. And really speaking, what is wrong perception? Adhyasa is explained in Tarka how? You mistook a seashell for a coin. They explain it as mistake of two perceptions. You mistook the perception of the silver coin in your house to and the perception of the seashell now. Therefore, it is adhyasa is only mistaking or mixing up two perceptions. Whereas in Vedanta it is what? Sat asadbhyam anirvachaniyam. It's a mental projection. Therefore anirvachaniyam. That doesn't exist in Tarka. Therefore they will take all these as Atma Gunas. Buddhyadau ashtau up to dharma. From buddhi to dharma. 8 of them will be taken as Atma Gunas. There's a major difference between. Yeah. Then out of these all these 8 gunas, buddhi, ichcha and prayatnam is twofold. Buddhi, that is jnanam. Ichcha, desire. Prayatnam, effort, is twofold. What is the twofold thing? Nityam, anityam cha. Nitya ichcha, nitya jnanam, nitya prayatnam, or anitya jnanam, anitya ichha, anitya prayatnam. How do you call this? Nityam Ishwarasya, Ishwarasya jnanam nityam, Ishwarasya ichha nityam. Hey, God has a desire over it. So akamayat bahusyam prajayeti. You desire, let me be manifest as many. Therefore, see, ichha is there. There is nityam. Prayatna is also nityam. Why? Creation is on or not? Huh? According to Tarka. Don't mistake it with Vedanta, okay?
Tarka also quotes from preacher.
As far as convenient. Yeah. Okay. Anityam jivasya. Your ichha is limited. Morning you wanted something, evening you wanted something else. Today you are celebrating your wedding anniversary, next week you are asking for a divorce. होता है? Anitya ichha. No, we are committed to life. Anityam still, because only 50 years, 80 years, whatever, of marriage I'm talking about. 50, 80 years of marriage, who cares nowadays?
Swamiji, why all these are coming under the this erroneous apprehension? Why
Huh?
they have put all these under erroneous apprehension? Why
As what?
Why under this section erroneous apprehension?
Not erroneous apprehension is over there. He is continuing with the gunas.
But all this is coming in the same.
Because the chapter started with erroneous, that's all.
So, that's all. Because it's continuing.
Yeah, it's continuing the guna. So from which one?
Because the title of the
Yeah.
samskara
From the 10th Smriti onwards, all gunas we are talking about. We have gone back to gunas.
Samskara, Swami.
Huh?
Samskara will be the guna.
No, after Tarka. Yeah, that's also a guna. But the whole question of knowledge stopped with Tarka, 9, point number 9. After that, it's reverting back to the previous list of gunas. Yeah, previous list of gunas.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
The Sukha.
So that's where the whole thing is. Yeah. Ishwarasya, this thing, jnanam nitya jnanam. My knowledge comes and goes. Anitya. My knowledge is finite. Prayatnam the same manner. His prayatnam is on, continuous. My prayatnam, after I am tired, I stop. No? I want a break. Then samskara. Now in samskara is very interesting. He makes it very global. In the Vedantic or Vedic, this thing we take samskara is what happens in your mind. No? Or samskara is a ritual that is done to create some positivity in you. The Shodasha samskaras a Hindu child is supposed to go through. Okay? 16 samskaras. Starting from before birth to death. So that is also called samskaras because they are supposed to create positive changes. Or samskaras will be taken as remnants of experiences, action, etc. in your mind. Here they take it more globally. Samskara trividaha. Samskara is threefold. Vegaha, bhavanaha, sthiti stapak ksheti. Vegaha, what is Vegaha? Prithiviyadi chatushthyam anuvrittihi. Vega is momentum or velocity. Movement. Well, that also comes out of samskara and inert things, no? There. Now there is Vega. Because of my samskara, there is Vega there. Because of my action. So it's the result of something. Vega is called as samskara. Okay? The tendency of a body to move when impelled upon by an external force. So Newton's laws are derivative from some of these. Yeah. So samskara Vega. Okay. Prithiviyadi chatushtayam anubhuti. Prithiviyadi. The four from Prithvi. Prithvi. Apaha, Agnihi, Vayu. In these four you will get it. Akasha is left out because Akasha mein kya bhega? Everything happens in Akasha according to that. Okay. Anubhava janya smritihi hetuhu bhavana. What is bhavana? Your feelings. Bhavana. What is it born of? Anubhava janya smritihi hetuhu for bhavana. Is born of, the hetu for it is Anubhava janya smriti. I feel nice to this guy because my experience with this guy has been good. So bhavana. All your feelings will come under Anubhava janya hetu. Is any feeling left out? Anubhava also includes your knowledge, okay? Not just experience. Anubhava jnana. How you cognize a person, no? Accordingly your feelings will be there. How you cognize a thing, inanimate object, your feelings will be governed by that. Therefore, Anubhava janya, this is correct. Hetuhu bhavana. Atmatra vrittihi. It is there only in the Atma. Why? Again, Atma is locus of feelings, etc. So bhavana is also located in the Atma, not in the mind as far as Tarka is concerned, in the mind as far as Vedanta is concerned. Okay? In the Sukshma and Karana Shariras as far as Vedanta is concerned. As far as Tarka is concerned, Atmani. Here Atma is taken as Jiva literally. If you take Atma as Jiva, there is no problem. Jiva has all that. No? If Atma word is translated as Jiva or equated to Jiva, then no problems. It's only when you're thinking of Sachidananda Atma the problem comes up. Yeah, Jiva has it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Clear up to now? Or any doubts? Clear, right? Okay. Then you come to another one. Anyatha kritasya punas tadvat stapakaha stitihi stapakaha. Stiti stapakaha. What is stiti stapakaha? Elasticity. What do you mean by elasticity? Here he says the tendency of you to retain shape when there is an external pressure. The tendency of an object to retain its shape is called elasticity. He puts that also under samskara. Why? You want to regain your shape.
Some example.
Okay. What happens to your rubber band when you stretch it?
My rubber band is okay.
So, now, which is, to those people who are not science students, which is more elastic? A rubber band or a piece of iron?
Rubber band.
Huh?
Piece of
It's a
iron.
wire.
Those who are science, who have a science background, use a piece of iron. Why? It resists change. A rubber band doesn't resist change. No? Whereas a piece of iron will try to remain in this old condition. No? If I have a rubber band and I stretch it, it will move. Here, I am putting pressure here. Is it changing? This wooden table? Is it changing? I am putting pressure. Not changing. No? That means what? Is retaining its shape. So the tendency to retain shape is called elasticity. So in science it will be called resistance to change. Here they are saying tendency to retain its shape. Now look at it. In Vyavahara you will use the words differently. When human beings resist change, is that being elastic?
Rigid.
Not. Those are the paradoxes of life, okay? Because there's always a resistance to change in human beings. No? Any change, first reaction, no, I'm okay. After that, you get comfortable with it. So resistance to change is normal. Anything, in any field of activity, there's always resistance to change. Yeah. Any field of activity. When huge pushbacks coming in anything, is natural. It's natural. Because the human mind is used to a certain thing. Even if it's something wrong, you're used to it, you like it. And you have slogans for it. A known devil is better than an unknown angel. Kidhar se? You want to remain with the devil or with an angel? Choice hai kya? But these are slogans to justify resistance to change. Therefore, that is not elastic. Yeah, you have a question.
This is also born of experience only.
Yeah, exactly. But born of experience of things, not of people. That is why in science and physics, iron is more elastic than because it resists change. Now, because if you are looking at modern metals, okay, there are now metals with memory. Yeah. You put a straight rod into a bottle, then you heat up that rod. Suddenly it becomes circle. Why? Under condition, it remembered that memory and took that form. So very often you have things like this happening in modern metallurgy. Yeah. So regaining its old shape. Whatever shape it was before, it is being elastic. So this matches that. That is the principle of elasticity that is used in modern science, and this matches it. Okay.
So here they are trying to say it doesn't matter whether it doesn't resist, but it comes back to the.
It comes back to the exactly. So here the focus is slightly different. I'm saying it regains or retains its shape. Even under pressure, if it changes, it comes back. Now, if you're going by that, metal will not come back on its own. If I bang a metal hard enough and change, I make a bar crooked, it won't come back on its own. But it can come back. It can be banged on calculation. Okay. Yeah.
Like students of Vedanta, we do a class, we are Advaita. We come back to same.
It is Katadi Prithvi Vritti. Katadi, a mat. Okay. It's rolled and kept. You take it out, it will spread out automatically because that's a natural shape. Anything made of earth will try to retain its shape. Meaning objects. Okay. This elasticity is we are studying only with respect to objects, not human behavior. Not human behavior. Not human behavior. Here is restricted to that only. Okay. In fact, human behavior depends on being able to change. Your growth comes only with your ability to change. With situations, circumstances, when new information comes, when you get new facts manifest. I studied a certain form of history, new facts have emerged out of research. Then what? I have to change our point. New research has come up, throwing new light. Then what I held for 50 years is wrong, change. Science is also like that. At school we all studied, even though it is wrong information there also. Atom is a single indivisible unit of matter. We all studied in school in the 60s. Whereas in the 50s itself they had changed that. In the 40s they had changed it. Yeah. In the 40s it has changed. But 20 years later we are studying the same thing. All over the world. But new facts, now you have to change. That's it, simple as that. Therefore, human behavior change is important. Okay. You can't say, let the society change, I will remain on my principles. You're not remaining on your principles, you're remaining on your rigidity. Principles are flexible. Rules and regulations are rigid. Rules and regulations are rigid. Principles have a flexibility about it. So when a man says, I'm a man of principles, I will not change, he's talking actually about his rules and regulations, not principles. Big thing. It's important to keep that in mind. I'm digressing from the elasticity of Tarka to human behavior, but it's important to see that. Yeah. My grandfather did it, my father did it, I do it, my child will do it. The child is saying, no, I will not do it. Yeah. Because society has changed, things have changed. Don't go by the principle. Principles will not misguide you. Rules and regulations may become outdated. No more valid. Yeah, no more valid. If tomorrow we decide to become like Americans and say we have to drive on the right side of the road and not the left side of the road, it's just a rule, no? Just a rule. In India, you drive on left side. Why? Just a rule. Americans drive on the right side. Why? Just a rule. Is there right and wrong involved in it? It's situationally what the right. Oh, here this is right, there that's right. Here left is right, there right is right. So if you change it, can you say, I'm a man of principles, I will not change, I will still drive on the left? You're an idiot, that's all it means. Yeah. So, these are rules and regulations created for convenience, that's it. Most rules and regulations are like that. Even if they are based on principles, they are subject to change because they are rules and regulations. Because principles are flexible. They are universal. Principles are not rigid. Yeah. Gravity is a principle, it's not rigid. It's not rigid. It changes according to distance from the center of the earth. Change. But the principle of gravity is universal. So once the principle becomes universal, rules and regulations are only situational for our convenience of functioning. So just to make functioning convenient. So to be very careful of this point, because this is a point that creates big issues. Okay, so we saw with samskara threefold: speed, momentum, that is bhavana, and elasticity. Okay. Now it comes with a very important thing, karma. Here is going mostly by vyavahara experience. Okay. Chalanatmakam karma, fundamental definition. Must have heard it before also, without knowing where it is coming from. Movement is karma. Chalanatmakam. Any movement can be called as karma. Basic definition. Urvadesha samyoga hetu utpekshana. Upward movement. Urdhadesha. Now you define movement. So movement, he gives you 4 areas. Basically 2. Urdhadesha. Whenever your movement is to go to an upward desha. Upward with reference to what? You. There is no absolute upward, downward. No? So upward with respect to you. Because you are the reference point here. In Vyavahara, you are always the reference point. Who else is the reference point? Urdhadesha samyoga hetu utpekshana. Therefore, upward movement utpekshanam is also karma. Adhodesha samyoga hetu apekshanam. Adhodesha, going downwards. Again, reference to you. Is called apekshanam. Then sharira sanniskra samyoga hetu akunchanam. Contraction. Coming towards you is called contraction. Anything coming towards itself or towards you With respect to your body, anything that's coming inward is contraction. Or with respect to a thing, if it is collapsing into yourself, it's called contraction. Viprakrishta samyoga hetu prasaranam. Or expansion. If there's contraction, there is expansion also. Okay. Spreading out. When you're spreading out, you're expanding. Whether it is an object or a kingdom, there's an expansion or contraction. India is in a contracted state now. Because India was divided 7 times under the British. Afghanistan went out, part of Tibet went out, Nepal went out, Far East Thailand, etc. went out. Yeah. Finally, East and West Pakistan went out. 7 times it was divided under the British. We think partition happened only in 47. That is the last major one. But before that also partition happened under the British.
So Swamiji, here karma is taken basically as movement with respect
Exactly.
to objects and body.
Yeah.
The most. But what about manas and karma and all that which
Huh?
means
No, that is not coming
all
here.
that they don't consider
That's not coming
like
here, no.
prayers and all
No.
those we take as karmas, no?
No.
Vedanta.
Karma phala is not coming here. Only action is coming into it. Chalanatmakam.
Action, gross physical.
See, when you are calling dharma, you are discussing the nature of that action. Here we are just talking about action itself. That is what dharma is qualifying an action. But what is action per se? Movement. What is movement? Upward, downward? That's it. Or kya movement? Upward movement. Okay, follow dharma. Then you have to go to heaven. Huh? Oh, that karma, adho, downward. Go to hell. Adharma. Can you see how it matches? Yeah. Okay. Anyat sarvam gamanam. Anything else can be taken as gamanam. मैं रास्ता पर जा रहा था किसी से ना gamanam. You're moving around, going around, hanging out. All that is gamanam. Okay, comes under gamanam. Prithiviyadi chatushtayam and manomatra vrittihi. It is there in the 4 elements other than space and also in the mind. Because mind moves, no? Chalanatmakam karma, there is movement in your mind. You can think of higher things, philosophically higher things. Therefore, urdhva gamanam, you can go on a downward spiral, papa karmas, etc. Therefore, adho gamanam, you can expand your mind by new experiences, new thinking, new studies, expansion. You can say, no, I don't want to cut off everything, contract. So, yeah, so now what? Manomatra. Or mind is roaming around here and there, gamanam. So all this is applicable to mind, your question. All this is applicable to the mind also. In this manner it is applicable. In this manner it's applicable to the mind as well. Therefore mind you can't take it literally as upward movement. Can't be taken literally, that's all. Can be taken that way also. Your mind is thinking of what is there on the ceiling. Yeah. Literally, why is that fan not working? Which of the fans is making noise? Upward movement. You can take it literally also. You can take it more allegorically also. Yeah.
So this word chatushtaya, it is coming here, and it came in sanskara also. It means only that power, 1, 4 letters.
Yeah. Because as I said, that samskara is different from what we call as samskaras. That's why. But okay. Look at samskara. We say it's only in Prithvi, etc., apaha, etc. Correct? Vega, etc. is only. Your subtle body is a product of them or not? Tanmatras, no? Akasha, Vayu. Therefore, to an extent, it can apply there also. Including by Tarka. By the logic of Tarka, it can still be applicable. But they don't highlight that. In Vedanta, samskara is purely the result of an action, knowledge, perception, something that you've gone through. Samskaras are created like that. How is the samskaras created? As far as the human mind is concerned. Here they are dealing with the external world. So, samskaras of the external world. But the same things are applicable in the human mind also. It's a little bit more complex, that's all. There is Vega in the mind also. Born of anger. Remember the Gita? Be careful of that. Yeah, I see that. No? The speed that is born in your mind because of anger. Krododbhavam Vegam. Correct. Mind always has Vega. Mind is the fastest thing on the world is the mind, not anything else. Yeah. So all that is to an extent applicable there also. Why? Mind is also matter as far as we look at it. Mind is matter, therefore it can be acted upon. Vedanta viewpoint. Okay? Then he is dealing with something known as samanyam. The point number 17, that I think title is missing.
Yeah.
It's samanyam, we are dealing with samanyam. Now what do you mean by samanyam? What is commonality? Nityam. Samanyam, nityam. Ekam, aneka, anugatam. That can be there in one or it can be in many. Samanyam, dravya, guna, karma, vritti. It is samanyam is there in dravya, guna and karma. So the gunas will come in, dravyas will come in. In fact, it is universal. That's why samanyam is called what is universal. Other than Satyam Jnanam Anantam we are talking about. Don't mistake it with Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Samanyam common. What is common? Okay. Tad dividam param aparam eti brahida. It is twofold in terms of param and aparam. Param satta, aparam dravyatvadi. Very interesting. Samanyam will take some time. Okay. Param is called as satta. What is satta? Sadbhavam, existence. Why? Whenever you look at anything, it exists or it doesn't exist. Therefore, existence is the absolute samanyam. Now we are getting a better understanding of what samanyam. Samanyam is commonality. Everything enjoys the guna of samanyam. Everything in the universe enjoys the guna of samanyam. What is that? Satta, it exists. Existence is common. Therefore, existence is taken as samanyam, not as existence is as when Vedanta. Existence here is taken as samanyam. Then, how many dravyas are there? 9 dravya. Sapta dravyaha. Sapta padarthaha. Nava dravyaha. Exactly. Sapta padarthaha. Nava dravyas. 9 dravyas are there. All of them have a commonality. What? Dravyatvam. As Dravya there are, how are you categorizing it together? Samanyam is commonality, that which helps you form groups and that which is expansive also. So what it forms groups is anityam, aparam, it's anekam, it's there in many things. Okay. But samanyam is apara samanyam. So dravyam, what is common in all dravyams, that will be called samanyam. Human beings, it's a common. As human beings, we all have certain common things. Samanya. Plant life, as plants. Yeah. They do photosynthesis, etc. Correct. So we have to cultivate plants. Are you sure you are cultivating plants? Or plants are cultivating you? Because plants are feeding you oxygen, they are giving you food, so that when you die you can become food for them. Correct है कि नहीं है? So plants are not vegetarian. Because if you are buried, naturally you become food. If you are a Parsi, then the birds get you and the vultures get you, and the vultures die, the plants get them. We are Hindus, that's why we burn. And put the water, put the ashes in the river. And the river deposits it in some field, and you become pumpkin for your grandchildren. So plants are cultivating you, okay? They're keeping you alive, healthy or mentally. Okay, jokes apart, but something to worth thinking over, okay? Jokes apart, okay? Aparam, okay. Therefore, when you're looking at Samanya, you're looking what is general, common properties. It's an important aspect of function. That's how groups get formed, whether in human beings or in nature. Groups are formed, conceptualized only because of Samanya. So for Samanya is a very important property in the human mind also. Not only that, Vishesha also, the other side is also an important property.
So nature, how groups are formed?
Plant life, animal life, automatically. It doesn't require a human being to form a group. Some plants, species, we are studying, but that's all Darwin's categorization. Darwin categorized it because already there. He only enumerated it. Yeah, it's already there in nature, no? Suns and planets, it's already there. Yeah.
So Samanya is only when there is in Nityam. Because
Correct. So that is a Parasamanya. Parasamanya, the transcendental Samanya. Para is taken like that. He is taken as existence because everything exists.
So it can't, because it says it is not in Anityam, that there can be Samanyam in Anityam, because even Anityam, that way if we see there can be Samanyam.
Because the Nityam aspect of the Samanyam will transcend an Anitya particular form. One human being can die, but human beings continue. A million human beings can die, but human race will continue. Samanyam continues. Individuals go. Then that Samanyam is Mithya, etc. we have to see later. What they call as Samanyam is Mithya. Not the Satta part, the other part of Samanyam.
So how do you differentiate between Samanya and Jati?
Samanyam is?
Jati.
They're similar, but Samanyam is broader. Because absolute Samanyam is Ekam. At the fundamental level, Samanyam is Ekam. Why? Satta. So you see, he takes the Samanyam itself as existence. Purely by observation, if you are going, this will be your conclusion. If you leave Vedanta Pramana out of it, then this will be your conclusion of a thinking mind. Sashi, what is your doubt? Because you are confusing Vedanta and Tarka. That's why I am making the difference all the time.
So easiness you have been telling.
Huh?
Easiness.
Easiness is taken as Samanyam here. That existence is taken as Samanyam.
Existence is taken as Saman.
Huh?
Existence alone will come. Table like this to chair.
Yeah, exactly.
But existence is still not the
Sat Buddhi. That Sat Buddhi is taken as Samanyam. Satta is taken as Samanyam here.
That means equal to this Vedanta.
Whereas Vedanta, we take Satta as Satyam. That's different.
It is never going. Everything.
Yeah. But that can be happen. You can take that stand only if the Pramana is there. If the Pramana is not there, you can't take that stand. How will you take that stand? Now because I kept on explaining, that's it.
Otherwise, Tarka says Sapta Padartha, that is Satya.
Yeah.
So everything comes from there only.
Exactly, from observation.
So existence.
This is all experiential learning. This is all it will take you. Yeah. More like scientific learning. Yeah.
So I take Satta in Parmanus also, and also all the other things which come from, which has the element of
Yeah,
those,
correct. One second. Yeah. What was the question?
So I take Satta also as the Parmanus which they take are Nityam, and also all
Nityam
the
because Satta.
that's Satta.
Yeah.
And then all the other things which have come from there also I take it as Samanyam, or I
But
don't take it
Para is there in all of them. No?
Huh.
Satta is there in all of them.
Satta in it also.
And they have Samanya Dharmas. Each Dravya will have its own Samanya.
Samanya.
Each Padartha will have its own Samanya. At the same time, as Padarthas, they have a commonality. So what is common is taken as Samanya. Then what becomes...
But the basis of Padartha is that it doesn't have commonality.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then how can they claim that again?
No, but that's because Vishesha comes in. Look at this. Next one is Vishesha. What is Vishesha? Nitya Dravya Vyavartakaha Vishesha. It's there in all Nitya Dravyas.
Only in this karma has remained in Samanya.
What's that?
Karma has remained.
Karma is finished, no?
Acha.
Samanya made it after that. Then Vishesha. Vishesha is in Nitya Dravya. What is Nitya Dravya? Paramanus, etc. Paramanus, Atma, etc. Therefore, Vritteyaha Vyavartakaha Visheshaha. What helps you distinguish one from something else is called Vishesha. Therefore, the distinguishing characters, they will say each Paramanu is different from another Paramanu. Each atom cannot be different from it. Okay? But each Paramanu is different. Paramanu will become molecules. Yeah. Naturally, hydrogen molecule is different from oxygen molecule. Therefore, what helps you identify the differences? That's called Vishesha. How you can distinguish one from something else. Samanyam between these two, both are tall people, then what is the Vishesha? You have to look at it. No? There is something Samanyam, there is something Vishesha also. What is that?
She said no hair.
Vishesha. Are you getting the idea? Vyavartakaha Vishesha. Iterebhyaha samana jatibhyaha vyavartakam visheshanam. Of the same kind, what helps you make it one distinct from the other is called Vishesha. Therefore, Samanya and Vishesha is responsible for the whole world. Can you see that now? Common, we are all human beings. Vishesha, male and female. Individuals, Vishesha comes into the picture. Each person is different. Different means what? Visheshas. Therefore, between Samanyam and Vishesha, all your experiences are taken care of. All of us are Indian, Samanyam. I am a Bengali, I am a Maharashtrian, Vishesha. Can you see? Samanyam Vishesha is always there. Comes across in everything. Me Mumbaikar, me South Mumbaikar. Samanyam Vishesha.
Me Varlikar.
All names also come with the Visheshas.
Guna will not come here.
Huh?
Guna Vishesha.
Guna Visheshas will be there, but here Vishesha is taken. Visheshas will go into your fundamental unit. That's why it's taken as Nityam. Ours will be Guna Visheshas. Ours Nitya Vishesha. We are talking about Nitya here. Gunas also come into the picture, but yeah, predominantly Nitya.
So Samanya, Vishesha and all are part of the Padarthas, right?
No, Gunas. You are discussing 24 Gunas now.
They will be the Padarthas.
Therefore, they are applicable to the Padarthas. Yes. Vishesha and Samanya are to the Nitya Vastu. No? Vishesha is the Nitya Vastu. Nitya Dravya Vrittaya. Vishesha is the Nitya Dravyas. Yeah. It's a Guna, but there is the Nitya Dravyas. More of this we will see next time, okay? But think it over. Okay. Oh, that's a good place to stop.